Oke, gimana? Om Ahmad, udah siap?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oke.
Ini bahasa Inggris, bahasa Indonesia?
Up to you. Tapi saya mau membuka dulu, jadi mau share screen-nya di dalam sebentar.
Oh, oke.
Yang udah siap.
Sudah.
Share screen-nya di close. Oke. Welcome to PHPID Online Learning for PHPID Community. Malam hari ini kita bertemu di dalam PHPID Online Learning yang ke-57 mestinya sih sekarang. Terima kasih untuk Mardiansyah yang sudah menjadi pemateri kita hari ini. Mungkin teman-teman yang belum kenal beliau mungkin bisa cek materi dari PHPID Online Learning yang ke-6 yang dibawain oleh Om Achmad Mardiansyah di tahun yang lalu, dan tahun ini beliau kembali mengisi di PHPID Online Learning yang ke-57. Nah, beliau sudah cukup terkenal dan sering mengisi di tempat ini. Jadi terima kasih sudah gabung di sini, dan kali ini kebetulan kita ke bagian topik yang lumayan bagus hari ini, Dbms. Jadi teman-teman yang mau ikut silakan, dan seperti biasa formatnya adalah 45 menit pertama kita mau presentasi atau sampai 1 jam juga bisa. Terus kita akan melanjutkan dengan tanya jawab. Nanti saya akan bacakan pertanyaan-pertanyaan teman-teman. Silakan disampaikan di komentar di FB Live. Dan sejauh ini sih saya lihat belum ada yang bertanya, dan nanti silakan tanya ke sana. Nanti saya akan bacakan untuk beliau. Oke, PHPID Online Learning, PHP Indonesia terselenggara berkat kerjasama PHP Indonesia dengan 2 sponsor kita dari Kosmopolitan dan Rumah Komunitas. Dan terima kasih untuk sponsor yang sudah membantu kita di sini. Semoga sukses mereka, bisnisnya masing-masing, dan sukses juga untuk kita semua. Baik, tanpa perlu menunggu waktu yang lama, kita hari ini, dan waktu dan tempat saya serahkan ke Achmad. Silakan Om.
All right, thank you. My name is Achmad, and I'll be speaking about data analytics with Dbms. This topic is intended for a beginner. So yeah, because it's already designed just for 1 hour. So hopefully there will be a continuous meeting after the session, or maybe in the future. Yeah, so the topic tonight will be the data analytics with Dbms, and my name is Achmad, and this presentation is for PHP Indonesia Online Learning number 55. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see my screen here with the slides and then my marker. Can anyone give a confirmation that you can clearly see my screen and then hear my voice clearly? Anyone?
Okay, no problem.
No problem. Right, thank you. Okay, let's continue. So here's our agenda. So there'll be introduction about ourselves, and then the data analytics, Dbms, and then data analytics on Dbms. All right. Is it possible to turn on my marker here for admin so that I can draw something on the screen?
I afraid that I already turned it off on the Zoom setting, but I don't know. It can be or no, yeah.
Usually there is a setting here where I can
well, I can
draw something, because that's I want to do usually on my webinar.
Yeah, I know, but I already setting on the Zoom that I'm not allowed to annotation for this.
Yes, annotation.
Yes, I already turned it off, so probably this show here.
Maybe next time, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll be speaking on my PDF here. Where is it? This one? Okay. Yeah, so I'll be talking about data analytics and then DBMS and then data analytics on DBMS. Okay, so first of all, we are GLC, Garansas Cakrawala. We are based in Bandung. Our areas are training and IT consulting. We are partner of MicroTik, Ubiquity, and Linux Foundation. We also have our own product that is GLC Billing or Radius Manager. And then we also have regular events like what we are doing tonight. That is a webinar. My name is Achmad, and I'm based in Bandung. Linux user since 1999, MicroTik and other stuff like Ubiquity, Cisco, whatever. Certified trainer, consultant, and then if you guys have a LinkedIn account, and then I would like to connect with you guys. Past experience, yeah, we were mostly doing things related to networks, like network support, network migrations, troubleshooting, set up network from ground up, also integration with other systems like billing and automation. Yeah, in some places like yeah, overseas in Asia or Africa or Europe. About the webinar itself, we started from 2010, and then since yeah, we try to make it regularly every week, every Thursday evening. And about yourself, I think well, most likely people here are from Indonesia. Hello, and then welcome to the webinar here. So hopefully everyone is in a good condition, good health, so that you can enjoy this webinar. Right, let's talk about data analytics. So analytics, analysis, analyze. So what are they? Well, analysis is, as you can see, that's a noun. It's acting of analyzing something. And then analytics and analysis is root from analyze. Analyze is verb here. And then the definition is to study or examine something in details in order to discover more about that. Okay, so you have things and then you want to analyze it in order to get more information about it. Yeah, that was analyze. And then comes to the analytics. So analytics is a process which computer examines information. So analytics is more on computer. So analysis is general, but analytics is more on computer. So computer is doing something on data to provide information. Okay, so what are components to understand data? Well, if you want to understand data, first people usually say it with in the data science. So they are using science to understand more about the data. So everyone must have a data, and then the data will be analyzed for further information to get more information, to get more insight of something from based on your data. So in order to get more insight, we have several things here, components. First is the computer science. So this is where we are. We are mostly from computer science, right? We are doing programming. We are doing the SQL. We are doing many things related to computational. Okay, so those are the computer science component, but it's not enough to understand the data. The second is you need to have a knowledge regarding with the mathematics and statistics, because this involves lots of data, lots of lots of informations. Well, the data will be cooked later to be information. So that's the difference between data and informations. So in order to analyze the data, one tool that we usually use is mathematics and statistics. Okay, and then the third part is the expertise of a particular domain. So if you want to analyze a car or a jet engine, so we need to get somebody from those expertise on that area, and then work with us to get more information about the data we have, right? So those are three things that needs to be available in order to get more data, more insight about our data. So our programmer alone is not enough. Okay, so we need to 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 to, to involve somebody from other domain in order to analyze the data. Okay, so this is where we are. Okay, so here we are at computer science. So this is our topic tonight. Okay, so only one thing, only one component for data analysis. And then if we can do more on the data, this is what happened. So we can, we know the operational environment. So we put sensors, we put data, we put many things. We probe, actually we put a probe, and then that probe will collect the data. Here's the process for collections, and then we get the data. So those data usually is put on a particular application where the application is able to handle many data. Can be thousands or 100,000 or millions or billions of data. And then we process the data, and then the data will become an information. So that's the difference between data and information. So data and information can be a relative term. For example, a student, they already submit their submission for assignment, for example. And then those are just the data. Okay, and then the teacher marks the assignment, and then from the data, it will become an information. So for example, the grade, okay, so you get A or B or C, D, E or F, okay? So that the data is cooked into informations. But that's not enough, stop to that. So this more information. So for the teacher itself, the grade of each student becomes the data for further analysis. For example, the teacher wants to know how good is this class compared to the other class. So they are comparing two groups. So it means that every results of examination from each student will become a data which will be processed later, and then will be cooked into the information. Okay, so the data will be processed or cooked, okay, with the quotation mark, and then there becomes the information. If we go further, and then those informations will be analyzed and then processed, and then will become intelligent. So it's not only a passive information, but for further process, we can set up like a model to predict. Okay, so it's not only description or descriptive information that explain this, explain that. Okay, this group is higher than that group. Okay, so what's next? And then with those data, we can set up, we can see a pattern, and then based on the pattern, we can set up a model. So after we get the model, and then we can predict what's going on in the future. Again, this doesn't mean that, okay, the data, after we got the data and then we can predict the future. Well, it's always be a prediction, not always 100% correct. But we use the data in the past to predict the future. So that's why some of you may heard the past is the key for the future. Okay, so the present is the result from the past, and the past is the key for the future. So we use the data in the past. We check we are checking, we are analyzing the pattern, set up the model, and then based on those data, we hopefully can predict the future, what's going on. Sorry. So data analysis level, yeah, we started from reporting. Okay, so I think this is where our webinar is talking about. Okay, so it's still data analytics, but with this level for reporting. And after that, we can do detective analysis to explain why, and then we can set up a dashboard to explain what's happening now, and then for the next, we can set up like predictive analytics, and then also when we have a predictive analytics with the big data, we can set up a model to predict. Okay, so those are the data analysis level, and then what we are doing tonight is about the first level here. So why it's not just only one level? Well, everything starts from level 1, right? So that's what we are talking about today. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, and then you can type in the group chat, and then I'll be discussing the questions along the presentation. Next is about the DBMS. So previously, we already know about the concept of data analytics. Okay, and then we'll be talking about the DBMS. So DBMS, oh, lots of text here. So actually, it's a software to allow user to store the data, and then the data is stored in structured way here with the table. Well, I cannot draw something here, but hopefully when I put the mark on several texts, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so with database management system, it's a software, and then in that software we put data in structured way. In this case is the table, and then the table can have relation with other tables. So as you can see here, we have a screenshot of a tables. Okay, and then this table can have relations from one another. Okay, so for example, we have a category here, and then we have a film category, we have film. So actually this is a tables for a rental application. So we have an application for a DVD rental. I'm not sure you're still renting a DVD, because mostly it's based on online subscription, right? Like Netflix or Disney or whatever. Yeah. So, but here I think it's still relevant. Yeah. So we have an application of DVD rentals, and then that application has these tables, and then these tables will contain specific information based on the table's name. Okay, so for example, we have a film here, and then the attribute of those film will be stored here. Okay, so this is how DBMS works. So we create tables, and then we define a relationship between them. Okay, so DBMS is used very wide. Okay, many applications are prefer to use DBMS for their application, and then for some application, DBMS is mandatory. RDBMS, for example, the financial application like a bank, or transactional application. Most likely, not most likely, it's mandatory. They are using RDBMS, relational database. Some software, for example, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, etc., etc. For the language, about how you retrieve the data from the database, you can use SQL. Admin, is it possible to enable the settings on the fly for annotation?
I don't
just in
know,
case.
but okay, it's right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. So previously, I said that DBMS is important, and then the way we use the DBMS is using a language because it's a kind of a proggy. Proggy means like a programming. It's a short of programming. So you're doing proggy on SQL. So SQL is a language similar like HTML. HTML is a language, right? Language for displaying the objects of HTML, like titles, like heading, like paragraph or image or many things. Okay, so HTML is the language for displaying components. SQL is the same, but same concept for displaying something. Okay, but SQL is not only displaying, but it has capability for doing something like uh, um, you modify the data, you insert the data, or you delete the data. Yeah, that is possible for SQL. It was designed in 1970s, and then there is a standard for SQL set by ANSI, American National Standard Institute. They update the standard maybe 3 to 5 years, every 3 to 5 years. And then here's the important thing. Each DBMS, okay, each software, usually they have unique features or their own. Okay, so this means it leads to new commands that is added on top of SQL syntax, standard SQL syntax. So SQL syntax has a standard, and then this standard is adopted by many DBMS. Okay, like select star from tables, right? So that is very standard SQL, okay? So for this basic syntax, I believe 100% all DBMS will comply. Okay, so that is the DBMS syntax, standard syntax. But each DBMS, they have their own syntax. For example, in PostgreSQL, so I usually develop my our application either based on PostgreSQL or MySQL, but most likely we use Postgres. Okay, in Postgres you have sequence. Okay, but on MySQL you don't have any sequence. Okay, in Postgres you can use copy. But in MySQL, I don't think you can use copy syntax. Okay, so but you don't have to worry about that. Many SQL syntax are very common among vendors. Okay, so most likely the syntax that you are seeing here in this webinar will be is possible to apply in other DBMS, among DBMS. So yeah, what we are talking about here is the standard SQL syntax. There will be also a live practice so that we can practice our yeah we can practice our a concept here, and then I will share the access to the group chat. Okay, let me check. Okay, later on. Yeah, so about the syntax classification itself, there will be a data definition language or DDL. So the purpose for DDL is to create or modify data structure. So it means that these keywords, okay, will be used to create or modify data structure, aka tables. Okay, well, it's not only tables, also sequence. A sequence is part of structure, right? Yeah, so some keywords, for example, create, alter, rename, drop, or truncate. So drop and truncate is the same. Truncate means to empty the database, and the auto increments will be reset as well. But the drop will be delete the content as well, the table itself. And next is DML, data manipulation language, for manipulate or display the data. Keyword select, insert, update, and delete. So with data analytics, we'll be using DML a lot, especially for select keyword here. Next is DCL, data control language, is to manage the rights of user have in database. So we can say, for example, this user can access this database. This user can access this database, but cannot this database, okay? So those are example of data data classification, SQL syntax classifications. Okay, I got info here regarding with the annotation. Oh, I don't know. It seems that it doesn't show up. So perhaps can you put me as a host? We tried so that perhaps it will show here. Just try.
I don't think so. It can work. Probably we have to stop and then re-share again the screen. But I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps we can swap. I become host, you will become the co-host. And
No,
let's
no,
see
no.
what
I
happens.
mean, no. I mean, we close the screen share first, then back on. Hopefully, it will come up.
Oh, okay. So I should stop the screen share here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
let's
stop
do
and
it.
then.
Okay, guys, I will stop the screen share for a moment. I'll try to swap with the admin. All right. Please, we'll be back in a moment. We'll be right back in a moment.
Back on. Probably it will stop.
Is it swap?
Yeah, I already activated that.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Looks like something wrong with my Zoom here. It hangs. Well, I can see a glass tower circling around with the Zoom. Yes, I cannot click share button. Oh yeah, it works now. So I will close my video, hopefully. Okay, I'm still the co-host here. Okay, I'll be sharing the screen again. So hopefully you can see the annotation. No, I don't think so. Yes. Well, just keep continue, okay? Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so we have DDL, DML, DCL, and then that transaction control language, or TCL. All right. Yeah, so TCL is to provide integrity on SQL execution. So basically, so sometimes when we do one operation, when we do one command, one activity. So that activity consists of several SQL commands. Some are writing in this table, some are writing in that tables, different tables. Okay. So the problem is not all of them are successfully executed. Okay, if your application is very busy, okay, some of the executions will fail. Okay, so that's why that comes the TCL, transaction control language. So this feature is to make sure that all executions is 100% success, and then after that it will be saved permanently on your DBMS. Okay, so that's the TCL. Keywords are begin, commit, rollback. So TCL is very, it will be used with hand in hand with the DML, okay, data manipulation language, especially if you are doing insert, update, or delete. Okay. So usually before you do all of them, before you do insert, update, or delete, you execute begin, and then you do the execution, and then if everything okay, and then you do commit. If something wrong, and then it will be automatically roll back. Yeah, so that's one reason why you need the TCL, transaction control language. And then in the financial application, TCL is mandatory function that you have to use. Okay, let's talk about the data analytics with the DBMS. First, we know that when dealing with the DBMS, we'll be using SQL. And then for data analytics itself, mostly we are using the data analytics related to the reporting. Okay, and in this case, the mostly used keyword is select. We don't do insert, delete, or update when we do data analytics. So data analytics means the data is already there, and then we try to retrieve information, more information about that. So that means we need to understand the data structure on the table. Okay. So first, before we go further, we need to understand how the SQL is processed. First, this is the big six, okay, for data analytics. You start with select, okay, start with select here. And then from, okay, we start here, number one, from, okay, either you can do from or join, okay. So from means from a table, okay. And after that, we can apply filter. In this case, we are using where, keyword where. If you want to do some analytics, or you want to group something based on a particular attribute, for example, when I say attributes, usually when we design DBMS, we design tables, right? And then we try to represent a real environment, real objects into table. So for example, we call it the real entity, real world entity into a representative in DBMS, in this case, a table. For example, in the real environment, you have an entity like, for example, student. Okay, student is an entity, and then there will be. So we want to represent a real world situation. So that's why in our database we'll have a table called student as well to represent a student object or student entity. So this is where we use from. So select something. So select means display an attribute, okay, and then from something. Okay, from here means from particular tables. If you want to display data from multiple tables, you will use join. Next is where. So when you display, you want to do a filter. So here we can use where. Number 3 up to later here, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Usually is done using analytics. Okay, so and then for the beginners, number 3 and 4 is sometimes is confused. Is a confusing features. Okay, group by and having. Okay, but we'll be discussing this later. So grouping means you want to classify, you want to group the data based on particular attributes, in this case columns. And then having means it's like a filter. Okay, so that's the big difference between having and where. Okay, so having is used for group by. Okay, and where is applied for number 1. And after that, you have 5 here, return expression. Another selects, for example, like a subquery or something. And then the last one is order by. Yeah, so it means that you want to set order of your data returns. So how you want to sort them. So based on what? Or based on particular attribute. Which particular attributes? Either it's descending or ascending. Also limit here. Limits means you want to display how many rows per execution. Okay, so that is how you do the SQL. So you do select, from, where, group by, having, and order by. So these are the sequence. Okay. Okay, so you cannot select, from, where, and then having. No, it cannot be that way. So select, from, where, and then you have to put a group by. So group by has to be done after where. Okay, so I can see many mistakes here from students or from others. Yeah, other engineers. So they put having. So they're thinking having is like a replacement of where. No, it's not like that. Okay, so this is some tips to memorize. Some French waiters grow healthy orange. Yeah, that's the how SQL is processed. And then for grouping here, we can also implement function for aggregate on particular attributes. So for that one, we can use in conjunction with group by. Okay, so group by some things, and then these functions like count, average, minimum, maximum will be used based on the group by here. So if you, but I can apply a count on sum or average without group by. So that means the whole execution will be treated as one group. Okay. So previously we talked about the simple analytics of data analytics on simple tables. What about if you have more than one tables? So it means that you need to understand the relationship between them. Okay, so for example, yeah, so we have a one-to-one relationship, but I don't. It's very rare. But most likely when you develop an application, you will have things like this, okay? The relationship between tables, which are one-to-many or many-to-one. So basically, many-to-one and one-to-many is similar. It's just a matter of your perspective. For example, you have a film here, okay? It's a film, and then this film can have a language, okay? So one film, so one language can have multiple films. So a language, for example, English can be used for many films. Okay, so it's a one-to-many. But many-to-one, yeah, it's a perspective from film to the language. So one film can only have one language. Okay, is it possible to have many-to-many? Yes. But usually in that case, we have an intermediate table between them. So for example, one film here can have more than one category. Okay, so one film can have more than one category, and one category can be applied in many films. So many films to many category. Okay, so in order to put the relationship between film and category, we usually put a film here, a table in the middle. So we call it intermediate table to bridge between them. So the relationship will be one-to-many from film to film category, and then like one-to-many for film from category to film category. So in the film category, we put here, it's a relationship between a film and category. So that's we put the record between film and then the category. It's them between here. So the way you retrieve the data between them, so between film and the category. So you'll be using join here, film and then film category, and then we'll be doing another join between film category and then the category. Okay. So yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, that was many-to-many, and then yeah, it's a join. So this is join is one application or one task. So I took it. This is not from me. I took it from Data Geeky. You can see the a source here. So you have two data. You have two tables. So table on the left and table on the right. So if you are, and we have colors here. Okay. So if we do, and we want to join them. Okay. So inner join means we just display, okay, the entry from the first table and second table where they have same data that is matched. Okay, in this case we have a blue and white, and then on the right column, on the right table, there are entries that has a blue and white. So the result will be here. If we use left join, so basically people are confusing to distinguish between left and right join. Basically, it's very easy. It's just a matter of the basis of the join. So if you use the left join, the table on the left will be the basis. Okay, I said the basis. So the table on the left, so 1, 2, 3 with a black and then a blue and white, that will be the basis of your display. And then after that, if it has a same match a record, and then the table on the right will be displayed as well. A right join is the opposite of left join. Right joins will be used, and then if will be used, and the table that will be used as a basis will be the table on the right. Okay, and then if you have a full join, both will be displayed. So that's the difference between inner join, left join, right join, and then full join. So in the beginning, when I learned SQL for the first time, this join is confusing my head, to be honest. But later on, it's just only the preference of the basis of join. Okay, if it is left join, the left table will be the basis. And then after the join, we have an onion, union, sorry, not onion, union. So union actually is just used to append. So you have two tables, as long as they have a same number of attributes, same number of column, and then you can add them. Okay, so as simple as that. So in this case, you have two tables, okay, from customer and then from staff, and then both tables consist of first name and then last name. So you want to join them, okay, and not join. I say not join. Join means intersection. Okay, so union means append. So you have a name, a set of name, and then another set of name, and then you just combine them. I think it's combined. Yeah, combine is the correct word. Yeah, so either you can use union or except or intersect. Those are the keywords. Well, I think I can share here. Basically, the presentation is done. If you are, I can do some live practice here. I can connect it to the. Oh, okay. Let me share. Let me share the access. So for those who are able to access, you can use a live practice. Yeah, live practice. So here you have to log into my server here. Okay, I will share it on the group chat. Okay, so for those who are willing to join the live practice, and then after that, you can join. You can log into SQL database with the username and password that I provide here. Okay. Here, let me share. Okay, those are the examples. How you log in, and then let me share a screen for you here for live practice. Okay, let me share my whole screen, for example. Okay, here it is. I already log in to the server. Okay, so this is just an SSH server, not the database server. So from here, you can log in to the database server. So using SQL -h. Okay, and then the name of the database, Pagila. Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh yeah, sorry. -u. Okay, password is, I have shared it on group chat. Okay, here I am logged in. So, I'm sorry. So you can see if you want to display, this is Postgres. You can display database in there. So this is what we use. So we can connect to Pagila database. Okay, and then we can display DT to display the tables. Okay. If you want to display columns, you can use D/D and then the table. So these are the tables. Okay, so you want to display particular tables, and then you want to see that exists. You want to display a particular tables. Yeah, it seems that okay, it has some problem. Okay, never mind. You can use select. We don't know how many columns there because the previous command are not successfully executed. So what we can do is to display the content. So display film. Oh, sorry. From film. Sorry, I'm nervous. Well, here it is. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so it got film ID, title, and then description. So, for example, length or rating. Okay, so we can do like select film ID, comma, title, and then rating. Okay, here it is. Okay, and then we can apply here a filter. Okay, so previously we already learned about the big six. Okay, how SQL is processed. All right, and then we can say we can do a filter here. We can use where rating equals to, for example, PG. Here it is. Okay, so only display PG. PG means parental guide. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, so for those who wants to join me, I already shared the access. Okay, you can try. Better use PuTTY, and then you can log into the database and then join the live practice session here. Okay, so that was where. Others is we can say like a group by. Okay, so group by ratings. Okay, so it means that we are grouping the content based on the rating. So we have lots of film, and then we want to group them based on rating. So that means we have a logic error here. So so currently we are grouping based on rating, but other columns are not grouped. Okay, so that means we have to delete them here. Only display the rating. Why? Because we are grouping based on that. Okay, so here it is. Right, and then I want to know how many films per each rating. Okay, so for that purpose, we can do like count. Okay, count film ID. Okay, so count here. Okay, so we have a group by, and then we have count. Okay, here. So count here will refer to a group by that was defined later here. So rating. So count here, it means count per rating group. Okay, let's display. That's the example. And after that, we can do, for example, having, okay, having, for example, rating equals to R. Okay, so only display. So as you can see here, having and where, it's kind of similar. Okay, the difference is where is applied first in the beginning. Okay, and then having is applied later, and then it is used hand in hand with the group by. Okay, so this is kind of data analytics with DBMS. Of course, there will be more examples in the futures, and I think for 1 hour, I think that's enough. So I think that's all. Admin, any questions?
Right. Then there is one or maybe two questions on the FB Live, but
Oh, okay.
before we read the question, I want to share the message from sponsor. Then
Okay.
yes,
You
before
want to
we go
share a screen?
to no, oh yeah,
Okay,
of
so
course.
I'll be turn off my screen share here, and then off you go.
Oke, Asa. Oke, terima kasih. Kita akan masuk ke sesi tanya jawab dan ada beberapa pertanyaan yang sudah masuk. Thank you. Tapi sebelum kita masuk ke sesi tanya jawab, ada beberapa pesan yang akan disampaikan berikut ini dari sponsor, terutama dari Rumah Komunitas. Rumah Komunitas sebagai pelopor merchandise inovatif di Indonesia menyediakan custom pakaian sesuai keinginan, berkualitas dan tanpa minimum order. Selanjutnya promosi yang kedua dari Kotpolitan. Kotpolitan adalah platform belajar pemrograman secara online dengan berbahasa Indonesia yang dikembangkan khusus untuk membantu generasi muda belajar dan berlatih pemrograman agar kompetitif di era industri 4.0. Kelas online baru membuat chatbot pintar di Telegram studi kasus bot info COVID-19. Untuk info lebih lanjut, silakan berkunjung ke www.kotpolitan.com. Bagian kursus Anda akan menemukan seperti yang sudah share screen pada hari ini. Baik, terima kasih untuk para sponsor dan kita akan masuk ke tanya jawab. There is one question here in the FB Live there. He asked about how about view? Is there need use view on the SQL?
Oh yeah, it's a good question. View, yeah. View is used as a representative of a, for example, of a previous, is a I can say predefined executed select statement. So with view, you don't have to create complex, because the complex is, I can say it's an abstraction of select. Okay, so we can create a view here. Yeah, so that's the definition of view. So view, as the name suggests, is just a view. Okay. Do you need view? Yes, for some case, if you don't want to write a long SQL query, you can create view. Okay, so so what is it? I forgot the command. Create view. Yeah, I think it's create view, and then the view name. Okay. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I have a problem with my laptop here. Yeah, okay. So create view and then you define a view name. Usually in our program, if it is a view, so and then it's called VW. We put prefix on that view name. Okay, view a film total view total. So you just describe the you just describe the view. Yeah. So create view name total film rating R. Okay, and then as and then all of them will be on your view. Correct? Oops. Oh, you have to put single quotes here. So sometimes when you create view, when you do executions, you're using a so you're using a software or IDE instead of manual manual creations like what I'm doing now. It works? Yes, it works. So you can use select star from view. Yeah, just copy and paste here. Right, so that's the view. So view is useful for I think it's useful for report, and most likely those dashboard application are based on view, so that for you guys as a programmer, you're asking the DBA, please make a view for this kind of query. So you just query from view. Is the view will accelerate or make the query faster? No. No, it's not. So it's similar. It will be treated like a normal select statement. So hopefully that answered the questions. Yeah, I forgot to add a few here. So I will update the syntax. Thank you very much.
Okay. There's another question also from the Gunawan Mujur Bibisono. He asked about can we have having from pre-selected select result? I think we use the select in subquery in the having syntax. Probably that's the question.
Oh, having is used hand in hand with the group by. So if you want to do a subquery, well, it's up to you. You can use a join from, so select from something, join, and then after the join itself is a subquery. So so this is join, right? So a join, so from table A, join table B. So actually table B here actually is a subquery, so another select. That can be done that way. So that's how you use having. Sorry, the join. So having is used hand in hand with group by. Okay. So again, having is group by.
Okay, so there is a 20. How many? This 31 viewer right now, but
Okay.
there is no more question. I'm just waiting the question, but there is
Right.
no
Okay.
more question.
Questions? Any
Okay.
questions?
Yeah. before we wait another question,
Uh,
we know that the SQL can be used with data analytics. I think probably most of programmer think that SQL just using for crude processing.
yeah, yeah.
I think they only think like that.
Yeah, so most likely is CRUD. Okay, create means insert, read means select, U means update, delete. But with data analytics, you can use R. So it's gonna be CRUD R. So R, the first R here means read or select. Okay. The second R here means the reporting. So reporting will use things like what we just discussed. Like you can utilize the a group by or having or with aggregate functions. So again, this requires lots of practice. Okay, so in the beginnings, these things totally confuse me. What's the difference between group by and having? And then at the time, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, not so many good references available in the internet. And then today, there are lots of them. And then to be honest, there are many information out there, but you should understand that not all information are good. Yeah, so sometimes those information, those web pages can be mislead. Okay, people just copy and paste, and then they just write something based on their knowledge, which is sometimes not correct. Okay. Okay. So any questions?
Probably from me, what do you suggest when we are doing the data analytic? We are using with Dbms or what the programming language?
Yeah. As I mentioned here, actually for data analytics, it depends on which level you want to achieve. Okay. So what we can do here is with the DBMS is I think it's on this area. Okay. So if you want to do a detective analysis or predictive analysis, you need other tools like Python, okay, or R, R toolkit
Yeah.
for statistical analysis. Okay. So R has many modules, and then that modules can be fed from the DBMS. So DBMS is the one that feed the data to the R. So R is the one that is doing the calculation because it contains a formula for example, for machine learning. It needs to find a pattern from of incoming data. So we have lots of data, and then those data are stored in DBMS, and then the R will retrieve the data and then analyze to build a model, for example. Yeah. So again, is DBMS okay? Yes. DBMS is okay. Others we can use software that is designed particularly for big number of data or big data. For example, the software is called some software is called Hadoop. So the DBMS will be store the data to Hadoop, and then Hadoop will contain many data, and then this data will be pumped into other analytical applications like R or Python or some people are using RapidMiner. It's very good for data analysis. So yeah, that's my comments on the questions.
All right, correct. Well, very nice and clear. Right.
Yeah.
Then my question is the last question. So I
Question
think
from you again.
no.
No,
Yep.
that's fine.
So So I think that's great. There's no other questions, so I think we have finished with question, and then we
Oh, okay.
have to close our PHPID online link.
Right. Thank you.
Probably you want to say something before we close?
Yeah. My closing, not closing statement. It's too formal. Yeah. Some last word I can say here. Well, actually, for data analytics, please understand this big six rule. Okay. So because some people are making many mistakes when they are writing their SQL query. You need to understand the sequence of the SQL. Okay, so start from select, and then from, where, group by, and then having, and then order by. So you cannot use order by after where, and after that you put group. No. So order by has to be put at the last. Okay, and then having, and then group by. So you need to understand the difference between having and where. Okay. Others is you can play with the aggregate functions. I think perhaps in the future we can set up another session for example, more practical live practice for data analytics. So we are playing with these functions, perhaps. I don't know. That depends on your that depends on the situations. Also, the next thing is the multiple table analytics. Okay, so first is the SQL. How you need to understand how SQL is processed on, for example, on simple tables. And then if it is multiple tables, you need to understand the join. Okay, inner join, left join, and then full join. Once you understand the concept, doesn't matter how many joins we have, you can just do it. Okay. Yeah, we usually not usually we can in our application it's very common if we join 3 tables, 4 tables, sometimes 7 tables. Okay, but if you understand the concept, that task should be okay for you. So guys, again, thank you very much for watching, and then for more information you can contact us. We also do a training here as well. If you don't mind, you can share a feedback for us for if you have suggestions, if you have suggested topics, you can just write it down there. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. And then, okay, off to the admin.
Thank you for Kak Achmad. That's very nice sharing today. Dan sebagai penutupan, terima kasih untuk semua member PHP Indonesia yang sudah mengikuti PHPID Online Learning. Berikutnya kita ada topik dari Om Ari Wijayanto ya, kalau salah berikutnya di hari Selasa yang datang. So kita akan ketemu di PHPID Online Learning berikutnya. Ditunggu saja karena bulan Maret dan April sudah cukup padat dengan online learning, jadi kita punya banyak waktu untuk belajar. Terima kasih sudah gabung dan sampai ketemu di lain kesempatan. Terima kasih semuanya, dan terima kasih juga untuk sponsor Cosmopolitan dan rumah komunitas yang sudah jadi sponsor kita hari ini. Terima kasih, sampai jumpa.
Okay, thank you very much guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.